Good morning, everyone, and happy Thursday. So yeah, I'm Tony from Peak. I'm a Playborhood coordinator within the team. So I predominantly work in 5 communities around the east end of Glasgow. But I'm going to give like a wee introduction to Peak, like what a Play Ranger model is, just like a wee oversight of what it is, and then like why did I want to be involved in the Young Place Changes program, and then what about the toolkit and how I'm going to use that in the future within Peak. So Peak started 21 years ago in 2000, 2000. And from there, it's just gone bigger and bigger. We're outreaching more communities than what we did. And the main focus is to play, create and thrive. So we have a play program, we have a create program, and we have a thrive program. But also now we've got a well-being aspect to Peak. And I think this is grew from the pandemic. So this is grew because of COVID. So now we need to try and see how we're going to keep the well-being going of all the families and all the individuals that engage with Peak. And we work across Glasgow. So predominantly when we started, it was a children's charity, but now we predominantly work with like 0 to 100. Like we work with like the whole family and the whole community, which is, to me, is unbelievable. Like I love that aspect of it because I get to meet so many unbelievable people every day. And so that's the wee insight of Peak. So I'll give you a wee bit of the play program. So that's what I'm part of. So the play program works in 10 different communities around Glasgow, and the main aim is for young people and children to reclaim space, just go outside and just enjoy the community that they live in. And this is involving families now, which is great. That's how it should be. I think it should be a whole community aspect to reclaiming the space. And I think Glasgow's got an abundance of beautiful places where it's out of our control. It's just got a bit overgrown, or it's abandoned and it's a bit derelict. They don't go there because that's where the young team hang out, or it's just these spaces and we try and utilize these spaces as much as we can. So it could be like an abandoned car park, it could be like a street, it could be it's any bit of green space, the woodlands that no one's been in years because no one wants to go in there because there's litter, there's like feces, there's everything, and they don't want to go in there. And we just want to use it all. And it's the main aim for our session is that it's child-led, and that comes down to the children are play professionals, and they might not think they are, but they are. Like there's no point me going there and telling them what they need to do. Like they know it, like they know it all, and I'm not young anymore, so they lead the session, and that's our main thing is giving them the skill set and the confidence to go and do that. Because you know it's like we're like right now they've been in the house a long time because of lockdowns and etc. And it's just feeling more comfortable being outside, and it's just using this space because that's the most important thing. And as I'll talk about how the Young Place Changes programs changed within our organisation, like well-beings became massive, and being outside and playing and having these conversations and meeting people is the biggest thing we're seeing from this. And the Young Place Changes program gives us a space to improve the well-being and mental health of these young people, because that's what we're seeing massively is when we're engaging with these young people after a period of time of not being able to, because Zoom and Teams isn't for them. They don't like that interaction, and for so long that was the only form of interaction, or if we picked up the phone. But it's working with young people that don't want to pick up the phone, that don't want to chat to us, they'd rather do the face-to-face contact, and that's why we technically do this job, because we love that face-to-face contact with people, and it's the best thing to do is being out in the community. So yeah, that's a little bit of like the program in itself and the introduction of Peak. So why did I want to be involved in the Young Place Changes program? I'm all about giving experience and opportunities to the young people and the families that we work with. And when I met Green Space Scotland, like it was just like instantly I knew like I want to be part of this. I think we need this partnership working, because we see green spaces out all the time when I'm outside in the communities. Like the needs the community collective to come together and help build these up, and through Green Space Scotland and the support we're getting, we can help with that. And we're only a small part. The community are the biggest asset to this, because they've got the ideas. They know the area so much more than what I do. I go into some of these communities 1 hour, 2 hours a week. They live in this community, so we need to make sure we're picking up on that. And that's like the main thing for me is why do I want to be involved, because of that. because the program's such like a nice thing to be involved in, and it's given spaces where people see as a massive negative in the community, and it's given the people coming together to work and improve that. And there's nothing better than when you see a space and you're seeing people come together who maybe not had the chance to talk to each other before, because there's a lot of discontent between young and old in some of the communities we work in, and a lot of the problems that are happening, that it's pinpointed on some certain aspects of the community, and through this, it's bridging that gap, and the conversations we're having out with it, it's just fantastic. And that's what I'm going to say, like, how do I see Peak using the toolkit, like the Young Place Changes toolkit? I see it as like it's for all ages, and I think every session we do now, it's something we're going to bring into it, and it's like a nice baseline to start with, because it asks them questions about how do you see your community. And I think it's massive, because it opens up this whole conversation, and it doesn't matter if you're a child or young person, like an adult, a passerby, like it opens up a whole conversation. And there's nothing better when we can have these conversations, because that's what needs to happen if you want to improve communities. Everyone's voice needs to be heard, and through this, that's what we're getting. And I'll be lying if I said it was a smooth transition. Like, this is currently, I'm in my third group of young people through this whole program. So when we started at the start of 2020, that group of young people, because of the first lockdown, they disengaged with Peak. They were around 16, 17-year-old. They're going into employment. Now some of them have become like interns at Peak, which is unbelievable. But that disengagement stopped, and they didn't want to continue with the Young Place Changes program. So, and then we had another wee group, and they got right involved in it. But then the second lockdown happened, and it had to go online. And some of the young people didn't like being online, so they wanted the face-to-face interaction. So it was like a half and half group. So we tried to keep it going, but then we just decided, like, we'll just need to wait till we go back into face-to-face contact, because that's what worked for this group. And then now we're back to face-to-face contact now with them, and it's like it's just unbelievable having this platform and a space and a safe environment to talk about issues that are really affecting these young people. Because right now, like I mentioned, like well-being and mental health is like a big thing that we're noticing with all the young people that we're working with, and it's affected like practically everyone in some aspect. And having this green space project it's made it so they've got a space, and I don't know the facts, I don't know the reasons why, but it being out in the nature and just in like exploring these green spaces and having this time to share ideas and just talk about their community and talk about themselves, like, it's just opening up massive things that we never thought. So sometimes the plans that we have for this section just goes out the window because the young people just want a space to talk and let us know what we're feeling. And for me, that's massive. So I don't care if this program takes 2 years, if it's slower than what it was saying. It's the young people that main asset of this, and that's what I'm seeing through this, is we're taking them to these spaces that they haven't been to in years, because that's where like the young team hang out, and they don't want to go in there and feel a bit unsafe in there. But they're coming together and they're talking about these spaces, exploring them, and now they're being part of it, and they're telling us what's happening and they're seeing it. And the young team, it's not their problem. It's a great space to hang around, and that's what green spaces are for. They're meant to be utilised. So it's up to us now to try and make it a safe environment and bring in the ideas that they've got. Like they want a graffiti project there. They want growing beds that can grow fruit and vegetables, and they were talking about like how they want to bring that into intergenerational play. So they want everyone to be involved in the community. They want just to tidy up the woods so they can hang about. They want families to explore the woods because they're absolutely beautiful. Like, it's a great space. Like, if any has been in Brigton in Glasgow, in the east end of Glasgow, you're more than welcome to come and explore around the area, and you come out and visit us if you want. And we can show you around, because the young people are so proud of it and they've got so many stories from it. It's just us trying to how we're going to enhance that. And then through this, we've had conversations with parts of the community. When they see us, they just come over, because that's the best thing of being out and about and face-to-face contact. You do bump into people. You're not going to get that experience online. So that we've had the experience, and they're telling us about like 15 years ago, they used to be the young people hanging around in the woods and hanging out with the pals, and that's what I want to see. I want to hear stories like that, and it's how do we all work together? Because if that's 15 years ago, these have been identified as a wee bit of an issue. To me, it's not, because I just think it's young people are hanging out there. Like, what do we do to enhance that? How do we work with them? And I think right now we're at a stage where it's just a safe space for young people to come to and talk about how the day-to-day is and want to bring an impact to the community. And to me, that's the main thing that the Young Place Changes have brought to Peak. and it's given us another tool to work with these young people and just enhance the lives of everyone that we come in contact with.